My Lords, I welcome the review. I read the whole document and I congratulate the Noble Lord Robertson. The country is very lucky to have his expertise and leadership. And while I, like many noble lords, are all for increased defense spending, I still cannot get my head around why the ODA budget was the only place that we could find some of the money. The matter has been debated at length, but it's really hard to get away from the fact that the optics remain very poor and this isn't going to go away. But that's old news now. The new news is our new slogan, NATO first. Now this is pretty catchy, but I think it's a communications mistake. There are 32 NATO member countries and none of them, not a single one, are using a slogan like NATO first. Why just us? Why just us? It sends the completely wrong message that we're deprioritizing other theaters, the Indo-Pacific, the Middle East, Africa. Just a couple of years ago, we were traveling the world talking about the Indo-Pacific tilt. And now it's NATO first. Of course, NATO is a priority. Of course, Russia is a threat. But why couldn't we have just stuck to something like UK first? Nobody would have minded that at all. But anyways, even if we accept the new branding, my single biggest concern, my lords, is that we have not produced a single defense industry unicorn in this country yet. A tech company with a valuation of at least £1 billion, not a single one has come out of the UK. We've had many from the US, several in Germany, even one from Portugal, but none here. Because whenever we talk about increased defense spendings, we end up fattening the primes. That's what we do each and every time. And we need hardware, not just software, which is not from the primes. We need money to go to the smaller, innovative firms, not the primes. And Lord Robertson's review of 1998 struggled with procurement even back then. And today's review still does. And so we do pilots with SMEs, but they never go into production. And the fact is that spending money on defense innovation leads to advances across the entire economy. If we hadn't invested in the mid-20th century in integrated circuits and semiconductors for defense, we wouldn't have any of the consumer technologies that we have today. And finally, my lords, while it's wonderful to see a renewed focus on tech and innovation, you cannot run a world-class defense force from a base where the Wi-Fi doesn't work and the plumbing is leaking. My lords, let us please bring our bases into the 21st century. I've been to maybe a dozen across the country in the last 18 months. Almost all of them need help. From canteens, restrooms, social areas, we need a giant base renovation program. And I would love to hear the Noble Lord, the Minister's views on that. And I'm sure he'd agree that our soldiers deserve to come home to bases that reflect the pride that we have in them.